I spoke with eCapitol News Director Sean Ashley about what else happened this week at the Capitol. Sean, the governor vetoed 15 House bills this week and lashed out at the House.
That's right. On Tuesday, the governor held a press conference to announce that she was vetoing 15 House bills because these bills did little to advance the interest of the state or to benefit the people of Oklahoma. Now, in addition to that, what she pointed out was that in her opinion, the House had not been tackling some of the big issues that it needed to address. Things like the bond issue, as well as funding for the Native American Cultural Center, some issues related to prescription drugs and doctor shopping, as well as a couple of other issues. She said rather plainly her intention was to get the attention of the House and that it wasn't a one-day deal, that if they didn't begin working soon, she would continue to do this.
Speaker of the House Jeff Hickman responded, and so did the House.
That's right. Speaker Hickman said that, in fact, they had been working, attempting to address these issues, particularly on the Capitol bond issue. He noted that the House had voted it down not only this year, but in prior years. And then on Wednesday, the House took up one of those bills, which had been vetoed, and overrode that veto by a vote of 86 to 3.
Of course, they voted to override. It goes to the Senate. What's the status of that in the Senate?
That's right. It now has to be considered in the Senate. It seems unlikely that it will be considered there. Some members, such as Senator Ralph Shorty from Oklahoma City, have urged the Senate to take it up, but I really doubt that that is likely. What has happened as a result of those vetoes, Governor Fallin said on Wednesday, was that, on Thursday, was that negotiations on the budget and on other issues have begun to progress. And in fact, we see that. On Monday, that House Joint Appropriations and Budget Committee is scheduled to take up a $13 million supplemental appropriation to the Department of Corrections, and we hear that other budget negotiations are moving along as well.
So budget deals are being reached?
Budget deals are being reached. We don't have a timeline yet on the final budget, but it looks like there's about 3 weeks left in the session, and that could break at any time.
Overall, there was little activity this week.
Yeah, this week was a rather slow week. However, it's sort of a bridge week. A week ago, they reached their deadline on hearing the opposite chamber's bills. Now they're getting ready to do work in conference committees and on the budget. We see a number of conference committees scheduled to meet in the House this next week. The Senate does not have open conference committee meetings, but the House does. So we'll begin to see those bills move through the process once again and ultimately toward the governor's desk or defeat on the floor.
How busy do you think next week will be with those conference committees meeting?
I think it'll be a week where we see the level of activity pick up. Initially, the conference committees won't have very many bills, but as the week moves on and as we move into the next week, more work will be done and completed on those various pieces of legislation. And then on top of that, we will throw the budget bills into the mix, and things will get more and more hectic.
Are they talking about adjournment, setting a date?
If they are talking about adjournment, they're doing it quietly, but what I will note is that a couple of weeks ago, the House sent around a memorandum related to conference committee reports saying that they had to be filed by May 21st. Now, typically they set that deadline a couple of days before adjournment, which would indicate they hope to adjourn May 23rd, a week earlier than the final day they can adjourn on May 30th.
eCapitol News Director Sean Ashley, thank you.
You're very welcome.